Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Midday Live. In the bulletin this afternoon, all is set for the Special Delegates Congress on Saturday of the NPP on August 26. Also this afternoon, Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference against the use of force by ECOWAS to restore constitutional order in Niger. Plus some business news as Ghana Revenue Authority moves to bring tax evaders in night markets to light with planned enforcement. We'll bring you some more international news as Niger junta leader signs order allowing fellow military governments of Mali and Burkina Faso to send in troops to help defend against an attack. We're live on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana, Live 2 on DSTV channel 279. My name is Noble Crosby-Anna. Let's settle for the details of the stories. And all is set for the Special Delegates Congress on Saturday, August 26 of the governing New Patriotic Party. Some 900 NPP delegates are expected to vote to reduce the number of presidential aspirants from 10 to 5. Ahead of the voting, the Presidential Elections Committee in a statement on Tuesday, August 24, warned delegates not to display their ballot after casting their vote. The statement added that any publicly displayed ballots would be rejected. 10 aspirants are vying to be among the 5 to contest in the November primaries. They are Kennedy Ohene Japan, Alan Tremanting, Kujunsa Poku, Kwabdeje Japan, Francis Adainimo. The rest are Vice President Dr. Baumia Bwachijako, former Energy Minister Joe Gate, Dr. Usofri Akoto, and Dr. Kofi Konadu. Now, on November 4, 2023, the 5 who make it through on Saturday will battle it out to lead the party as its presidential candidate for the 2024 general elections. Meanwhile, MPP Director of Elections Evans Nimaku says all security and electoral arrangements are in place for a smooth process.
God's willing, by Saturday, the delegates will meet in all the regional voting centers as well as the party headquarters. We are ready. We've put in charge, in terms of security, the National Police Service. In terms of the conduct of the exercise, is the Electoral Commission. We expect that on Saturday, our delegates will do the needful, will comply with the security arrangement put in place, cast their votes at the various centers, and return to their respective areas. And then when it is 1 o'clock, the EC will do the honor of opening the ballot, sorting, counting, and then recording to all the candidates the figures that they would have gotten. As we speak, all the ballot papers have reached the regional secretariat of the EC as well as the registers. Aspirants have been given the final voter register. We just finished engagement with them, and so everything is set for the party to conduct this special electoral college.
In a related development, a former member of parliament for Kaikwe North, Hussaini Issa, has been speaking about measures put in place by the election committee of the NPP for Saturday's Super Delegates Congress.
I think it's appropriate for the party to say that the ballot has to be secret, and that we've all agreed to it. So I don't see why somebody should vote and have to go out there with their ballot and show it to the world. For us to maintain the secrecy of the ballot, nobody should have the right to be able to take their ballot out there. I think the party and its guidelines came out to say that nobody will be allowed to take a mobile phone in there. And so I don't see, if you don't take a mobile phone in there, how can you actually have a snapshot of a ballot? I really can't see how that is feasible. The danger also is that the party should be careful not to bring out guidelines that it cannot police or insist on. It's a danger to the whole process. How would you say that there should be no campaigning? How are you going to police that? How are you going to ensure that it doesn't happen? That is a danger, and then we should move away from it.
Trust us here at Media General on TV3, your election command center, for extensive coverage of the MPP Super Delegates Congress in all the regions as well as the party headquarters tomorrow. But in the meantime, newly appointed head of conflict resolution of the opposition, the National Democratic Congress, Abraham Maliba, says his appointment is a promotion from his previous role as Director of Legal Affairs. The NDC has announced new appointments toward party leadership ahead of the 2024 elections. The legal practitioner who moves on from the legal directorate of the party said the new appointments mirrors the growth of the party.
The party is growing and the party is a living organism. And so these new appointments, new directorship have been created. It's in response to the growing nature of the party and the fact that the party has to respond to that growing nature that it is assuming. The new appointments are also bringing in some dynamism. There have been some changes as well. We think that as a party, we should have a mechanism where members don't end up in court. There must be an alternative dispute resolution mechanism, and we need to train our officers to do ADR, which will minimize some of the conflicts and minimize some of the acrimonies that happens within the party. In the areas that we didn't have directorship, those areas were areas that bordered the party. So you are now putting in place somebody who will focus on those areas and deal with them. So it is to the good of the party that these new positions have been created.
Well, NDC's new conflict resolution head, lawyer Abraham Maliba, claims that the upcoming protest against the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Anita Singh, and his deputies and the board is to prevent further damage to the country. The minority intends to picket at the Bank of Ghana head office on September 5. But the police have rejected the routes proposed by the minority for the event. Here is Abraham Maliba justifying the need for the protest.
The governor of the Bank of Ghana has demonstrated that he's a willing tool that is used by this government to ensure recklessness in our financial sector. Indeed, one would have expected the governor to exercise his independence, ensure that the kind of losses that we experience, over 60 billion cedis loss, would have been averted. The governor of the Bank of Ghana has a responsibility to alert the government by telling the government that the road or the path that we are taking will lead us to a crash. The governor failed to do that. When you look at the laws of the Bank of Ghana Act, it clearly indicates that you cannot lend or you cannot give out a loan beyond 5% of the previous year's revenue. But yet, this governor went above it. So this demonstration is to drum home the point that he needs to resign and he needs to leave the bank and a new person comes in to take over and run our country for us. If we continue to allow him to stay there, he will damage us the more.
You're reminded that all is set for the Special Delegates Congress on Saturday, August 26th of the governing New Patriotic Party. We are your elections command center. Trust us for all the updates. Let's speak with my colleague, Duke Mental Poku from the political desk for some updates on the upcoming elections. Good to see you on the program. What is at stake tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, the exercise essentially is to prune down the numbers from 10 to 5.
Right.
This is a constitutional imperative according to Article 13(9) of the New Patriotic Party's constitution amended in 2019. Now, this is a measure that has become necessary in the aftermath of the 2007 election, became necessary. Now, that is the election which had the 2017 contestants, after which, there was a lot of rancor, there were accusations of vote buying, corruption and others. The party then decided to expand its electoral base, it's the base of its delegates and then the number of people who take part in electing its leaders. as a product of that, there was this amendment, constitutional amendment, which then brought about this super delegates Congress, or this special delegates Congress as we have it. The first one which took place in 2014, and this is the second one. Some interesting numbers that we have to run through. There are 961 super delegates, 961, drawn from various facets of the party. So you have National Council members, National Executive Committee members, Regional Executive Committee members, members of Parliament, card-bearing ministers. You have members from the special branches, and also from those from the external branches as well. You have 17, electoral centers or polling stations, 16 spread across the regional capitals, and then one at the national headquarters. So this is not the main thing. The main thing is on November 4th, but constitutionally, the MPP, it's an imperative for them to cut down the numbers anytime you have people or you have contestants more than the 5, so that you cut it down from whatever number it is to the 5.
So from where you sit and the analysis you've made concerning these elections, we're trying to reduce the number to 5 from 10. But for the aspirants themselves, for the flag bearer hopefuls themselves, what more can they do at this very last minute to sell their message maybe or further their convincing?
No two elections are the same. And the politicians will always tell you that a day is a lot of time in politics, right? So what the camps will be doing at this moment in time, or at this point in time, is to be consolidating their bases and doing a mop-up exercise. So go through the numbers, go through, where you're expecting the region, what do you call it, people to come from. We know key regions such as the Ashanti. We know Greater Accra. Ashanti has 119 votes. Greater Accra has some 81 has 72 votes. Eastern region has 81 votes. Central region has 55 votes. So what you are doing at this point in time is mopping up the numbers, touching base with the original executives, the original reps, to ensure that whatever they've gone through in terms of going around the message, campaigning, electioneering, they consolidate the base ahead of tomorrow. Yesterday, the party indicated that they will not countenance any campaign of delegates and all of that. Thankfully, it's a decentralized process, so we may not see a lot of that. But it's good that from the political analysis point of view and for transparency's sake, that the party is holding a strong view on some of these issues.
Duke, thank you so much. You mentioned the regions. Let's touch base with some of our correspondents in the Ashanti region and speak with William Evans from the Ashanti region, how the process is going, preparations are going ahead of this all-important election in the Ashanti region. Evans, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with how many delegates are voting in the Ashanti region. Then we talk about the preparations.
Well, so approximately we are looking at 120 delegates comprising of 47 constituency chairmen. We have 43 members of parliament. We have 6 from the National Council. Then we have 7 founding fathers that what I've been told. Then, of course, 17 regional executives. So these are the numbers that will make up the approximately 120 delegates who are supposed to cast their vote tomorrow.
Right, Evans, thank you. So we know that this election is for the special delegates or the elite of the party in the region. But is the noise getting to the other supporters of the party, or they've just left it for, the people who are actually voting tomorrow to talk about it?
Well, absolutely. Radio conversation this morning has been dominated by tomorrow's special delegate Congress, by the ruling New Patriotic Party. Of course, as a traditional political ground, as a warehouse or a political powerhouse in the ruling party, you definitely expect, this kind of noise to at least soar up as far as the political environment is concerned. Exactly what we are saying here. But who has been making the noise a lot? I think that is the Baumia team. For Alan team, they think that, the Special Delegate Congress is actually not the focus. They are looking at November 4. That is what they have been saying across, few radio stations that have monitored, of course, Akuma FM, where they have also been patronizing or been visiting. For Dr. Mahmoud Baumia team, they think that they need to make a case that, look, we have the numbers, and November 4th will just be a mere formality. One person who has been talking tough is the Deputy Defense Minister, Kofi Konadu, who spoke to me not too long ago.
In the region, and tomorrow will be the beginning of the journey for Bawumia in going back to the Jubilee House this time, not as the Vice President, but as the President. Tomorrow will mark the beginning of that journey. And I can confidently tell you that tomorrow Bawumia is going to win. And he will win not only in Ashanti region, but trust me, and you mark it, he will win across all the regions. He will win massively. I mean, if you listen to the ground, if you listen to what people are saying, if you listen to the call, this is Bawumia's time.
So that was the Deputy Defense Minister speaking there. William Evans Inkom is still on the line with me. Evans, so we heard from him. Let's talk about the chances of the aspirants in the region. We know how important the Ashanti region is for the NPP as they put in place their final mechanisms, processes towards, swaying some delegates to their camps. How is it looking like?
Well, of course, I mean, the last couple of days, they have been doing mock-ups. For Bawumia. Bawumia was here, I think, early part of this week. He met with some constituency executives before he moved to the Western North to continue that mission there. Prior to his coming, Kennedy Japan has also been here. Alan Kojo-Chematen has also been here, but they've been doing this undercover. I mean, they have been very, very careful in letting some of these kind of engagements get to the public domain because they want to protect the sanctity of their strategies. Exactly, that is what they are doing. Of course, I mean, they be poking their noses here and there, and that is, I mean, the whole essence of the political game. Kwabena Ejay Ejapon was here yesterday. He hasn't been that be operating in a covert manner because yesterday or 2 days ago he was on the radio speaking tough. Of course, Kwabena Japan is known for that, and he also been doing his mock-up. So they just want to be sure that indeed, when it comes to the electoral college, they have this number of representation who are going to go with them, and that is very crucial and critical as far as election of such nature is concerned. You need to know how many people you command as far as the electoral college is concerned.
Right.
Then you can rest assured that you are going to take this position, and exactly what they are doing now.
Evans, thank you so much for those updates from the Ashanti region. William Evans Inkom is Ashanti regional correspondent there. Some delegates of the party in Kwalasu say the right man to lead the NPP to victory in 2024 is the former Greek minister, Dr. Osei Akoto.
You can see when the Kwalasu people have taken their decision, and their decision is to support the Osei Akoto. There's no me saying that.
We apologize for the poor sound quality there. But to some other stories this afternoon, and the one district, one factory policy is a flagship policy of the Khufu government. 6 years ago, the policy was launched with a sword-cutting ceremony for a juice factory in the central regional town of Ekumfi. The following highlight the statistics, the challenges associated with the policy and its implementation.
I'm here to cut the sword for the construction of the Ekumfi Fruits and Juices Company Limited, the first factory to be established under the One District, One Factory initiative. This is in fulfillment of the pledge I made to the people of Ekumfi on Tuesday, the 1st of November, 2016. As you have heard from earlier speakers, this project has been well planned and well thought out through, with the raw materials needed for the successful implementation of this project already present.
President Akufo-Addo brimmed with optimism at the launch of the policy in 2017. Years down the line, official statistics indicate that 104 factories are operational, 24 are the inception stage, and 150 are under construction. In all, 224 feasible business plans have been approved. The Greater Accra region has the highest number of projects, 80 factories, and the Northeast region has the least with 3 projects. Deputy Ranking Member of the Trade and Industry Committee in Parliament, Yusuf Suleimana, provides an assessment of the policy.
What I have seen so far is supporting existing companies more than new ones. And that is why if you go to the districts, because the concept is that each district will be given 1 factory. I can tell you the concentration is in Ashanti region, concentration is in Greater Accra, and concentration is in Eastern region. Traditionally, these are areas that we all know that are into industrialization. What they did was to go back to those areas, support them. Look, let me tell you, a company was given 36,000 Ghana cedi and put under 1D, 1F. Where will we be able to establish a factory with 35,000 Ghana cedi?
He maintains that there has been a departure from the original intent of the policy.
They had wanted to give this hotel, Royal Fiesta Hotel, a loan facility. And so I questioned them, and they have to now renege. They have to now move away from it. And so there are many tax exemptions they've given to companies that do not deserve it. And many of us have cautioned them, and we told them that, look, we know that there's some underdealings when it comes to these tax exemptions that you are giving to some of these companies. And so my assessment is that 1D1F is a total failure.
A stakeholder in the industrialization sector, the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, previously called on the government to boost the implementation of the policy as a measure to reduce the importation of goods that can be made locally.
Now, the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference has expressed concerns about the intention of the Economic Community of West African States to send troops to restore constitutional order in Niger as a last option. In a statement issued on Thursday, August 24, the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference said the idea of an ECOWAS military intervention should not even be contemplated. The conference noted any military intervention will exacerbate the already precarious situation in that country, where civilians such as women, children, the aged, weak and vulnerable in society are bearing the biggest brunt of the chaotic situation. The conference advocated diplomacy on the part of ECOWAS in handling the crisis. The conference is also urging President Kofi Konadu to refrain from the use of force and likewise urges its colleague leaders to do the same. ECOWAS has clarified that the use of force will be a last option. At its meeting in Abuja, Nigeria on Thursday, August 10, the Authority of Heads of State and Government directed the Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff to member states to mobilize a standby force. This is Midday Live on TV3. My name is Noble Crosby, and we're back with more stories after the break. Please stay with us.
Gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo Paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo Paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo Superior Paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Pepsodent is aware that globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. That's why by giving her Pepsodent, you're not only protecting her teeth, but also helping her grow up and thrive at every stage of her life with a healthy and confident smile. so she can succeed and achieve all of her dreams. Because every smile matters.
This Saturday on Fisheries Eye at 6:55 p.m. on TV3, unveil the harsh realities faced by vulnerable girls in Keji, a tranquil fishing community nestled within the Keta municipality of the Volta region. Cases of teenage pregnancy have shed light on a deeply concerning issue: how financial struggles drive young lives to the edge. Fisheries Eye brings to our viewers the harrowing experiences of marginalized voices in our fishing communities where dreams meet challenges. This and every Friday and Saturday at 6:55 p.m. only on TV3. Fisheries Eye is funded by the USAID from the American people.
On this special entrepreneurship episode, our talented contestants are taking the stage to present a whole new dimension of business brilliance. Watch as these bright minds shape their vision into reality, crafting different business ideas that revolve around the strength and potential of women. Don't miss out on this remarkable showcase of women-centered entrepreneurship where creativity meets empowerment. This week is Eviction. To keep your contestant in the competition, vote by dialing *713*13# across all networks or download the TV3 Reality app on Play Store or App Store. Studio audience must be seated by 7 p.m. at TV3 Studio B. Show starts at 8 p.m. sharp here on TV3.
GMB 2023 is sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix, GTP, Techno Camon 20 Series, AT, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula, Geisha Moringa and Geisha Black Soup, Key Soup, Bell Pack Tissues, Sankofa Natural Spices, Vitamilk, Deluxe Acrylic Paint, Nescofa Blood Tonic, Heaven Black Mosquito Spray and Coil, Enapa Foods, Freedom from Casapreco, Frutelli Calipo, Duffy's Health and Beauty, Obuasi Bitters, Nubunawo Mwankasa, Dragnet, Shalatem, Top Choco, Global Wings Travel and Tour.
Makeup was done by House of Tara.
The age-old rivalries that senior high schools had back then is still present in alumni.
Jolali, now or never, we are here to represent our school, St. Mary's Senior High School, Mary's for short.
Repping at Disador College, Santa Claus live in the house.
And we are representatives of Winneba Senior High School.
You are missing one contestant, your old student Shatawale.
The battle for bragging rights to a particular endeavor remains, of course, still after school. St. Mary's in the lead! Okay. St. Mary's in the lead! St. Mary's in the lead! St. Mary's in St. Mary's! The heat will be on in the kitchen right here on TV3 on Sunday, 5 p.m.
Kitchen Wars Season 2 shows Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
Enapa Foods. Say Enapa. Enye Ono Soko.
PGL.
It's fun, it's educative, it's entertaining. It's season 3 of your favorite TV show, Lucky Trip.
Beautiful people, my name is Camido, aka Mr. Grind on Stop. Hello. Hi. Hello, boss. Hey.
Do family when it's family time.
Take a seat as we embark on a ride of your life with your favorite celebrities.
We rather go to Nigeria to film.
Miss B is my friend. Actually, I know
you are going to do that.
Hey. Lucky Trip, the ride of your life.
Lucky Trip Season 3, premiering Saturday, 26th August at 4 p.m. on TV3.
What type of music
did Louis Armstrong play?
Country music.
Which country? Which of these animals would Lali or Eko prefer for a pet? A parrot, a cat, or a bird? Me, animal.
I knew you were going to say what she
Here to Win shows Saturdays at 8 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Kill It Insecticide Spray.
Gino Tomato Mix.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Let's bring you some more news. As Deputy Defense Minister Kofi Konadu has debunked the assertion that ECOWAS lacks military numbers to face off Niger's junta if dialogue fails. In an interview with TV3, he said Ghana alone has enough men to contribute.
On the numbers, 800 currently, that's what, according to him, ECOWAS has. And you need about 50,000. It looks like we don't have the numbers.
I think my colleague from Parliament got it all wrong. I mean, it is absurd to think that all the countries within the sub-region, the ECOWAS sub-region, if they are to contribute soldiers for an exercise, can only come up with 800. That is it's falsehood. It's a complete falsehood. We have many countries making up ECOWAS. And so if it is the decision that ECOWAS go for an exercise, obviously the countries will contribute. Ghana alone can contribute more than 800. If it's talking about Ghana, I can say yes, if that is the number Ghana is contributing. Fair deal. But to say that ECOWAS do not have the numbers and that it is only 800 that we have, that the ECOWAS sub-region, I mean the standby force has, instead of 50,000, and that we do not have the numbers. I think that he should look at the strength of the various armies in the various countries making up the ECOWAS. And then when he's done that, then he'll be able to tell if ECOWAS indeed can put up the numbers or not. I think that the figure is put out there is not correct, and it can never be correct. I think what I want everybody to understand and appreciate is the fact that military action will be the last resort. Of course, if negotiations, if diplomacy works, if we are able to talk, if cool heads prevail, obviously nobody will go for any military option. But the option becomes necessary when all avenues for dialogue, it's not possible. Then obviously that exercise will work. Yes, they are going to, in their last meeting here in Accra, heads of all the security agencies of the various ECOWAS countries agreed to activate the ECOWAS stand force. So that will be activated. And so if negotiations fail, then maybe that military action will be the last resort.
Let's now join Manu for some business news. Over to you, Manu.
Thank you, Crosby. Welcome to the business segment. You're still watching Midday Live, and my name is Minu Afo. In our first story, the Ghana Revenue Authority has hinted at plans to uncover tax evasion in night markets. The exercise will be carried out by the authority's preventive and enforcement units in collaboration with the police. Addressing the media, Assistant Commissioner in charge of enforcement at Accra Central, Joseph Annan, said a comprehensive audit will be done on all forms of businesses that will be caught in the night for failing to honor any form of tax obligations.
What's happening is that we are doing compliance checks on them. There's a slightly different one. For what we are doing now, it has much more to do with VAT and the tax laws that governs VAT. Although now we are going to go back to our offices, go into our system and look at other tax types, what these taxpayers are doing. Because once VAT is suffering, obviously it's to be expected that they will not be treating the other tax types right. But for the night market economy, what our officers are doing is to do full compliance. So when they go in there, they'll check PAYE, they'll check CIT, they'll check VAT, all other taxes that are applicable to a particular taxpayer. And once you are found foul of the law, then the appropriate sanctions will be meted out to you.
Away from that, Head of FinTech and Innovations at the Bank of Ghana, Kwame Opong, has cautioned stakeholders within the FinTech space against harvesting customers' data for malicious purposes. Addressing stakeholders at the MTN Momo season, he stressed the importance of customer data to business operations.
The issue of data privacy and protection. Data is the new oil, as they say, but data is our identity as well. Without knowing your names, there's so much that so many technology providers can say about you, sometimes even in breach of your privacy. It is important that as we do this, we also ensure that we are not violating our consumers' privacy, abusing their data. And you saw recently action that was taken in collaboration between the Bank of Ghana, IOCO, and the Cybersecurity Authority to intervene where some illicit actors in the space with larceny in their heart were engaged in the form of illegal lenders. It wasn't just about loans, it was also about harvesting your data and using it for malicious purposes.
In more business stories, experts have called for critical policy analysis to better inform decision-making in Ghana, especially as the country experiences multiple challenges. At the release of the 2019 Social Accounting Matrix, they observed the matrix helps to analyze the effects of policy before implementation.
A social accounting matrix represents flows of all economic transactions that take place within an economy. The International Food Policy Research Institute co-hosted the release of the Social Accounting Matrix for Ghana under the Nexus project in partnership with the Ghana Statistical Service and the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research. Senior Research Officer at the International Food Policy Research Institute, Seth Asante, spoke on the economic significance of the Social Accounting Matrix.
Provide a standard platform for policy analysis. It helps economists or any analysts, academia, policymakers to kind of understand the structure of the economy. And this helps in terms of prioritizing policy implementation.
Senior Research Fellow at the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Dr. Andrew J. Holmes, noted the matrix helps to analyze the effects of policies before implementation.
We can analyze the impact on specific households within the economy, and that is useful. So if I'm in the chair of the finance minister today, and I want to make any changes to our tax schedule, the sum could be a tool to tell the impact that it will have on, let's say, young people who live in the rural areas.
We'll now shift your attention to a special Friday feature about sunflower, a valuable crop with a bright future in Ghana. With government support, Ghana can become a major producer and exporter of sunflower oil and other byproducts. Three businesses Shadrach Isufi in this special feature explores the various economic benefits available to Ghana from sunflower cultivation.
About 50 million metric tons of sunflower seeds are produced annually all over the world, with Russia and Ukraine contributing about 70%. With Russia's war on Ukraine, sunflower production has reduced drastically, pushing prices up. In 2018, Ghana imported over 5 million metric tons of sunflower oil, worth over $4 million for both domestic and industrial purposes. The major industrial consumers of sunflower oil in Ghana are the camfish processing and oil paint manufacturing companies.
Sunflower business in Ghana is over $152 million US. The import of the oil is about $4 million per annum. And then the export of sunflower products for foreign exchange is about $147 million US. And all these products, every single drop of them is imported. So there's a need for us to look at import substitution.
In 2017, Ghana exported $149 million worth of canned fish in sunflower oil. According to trade remarks, Ghana has the potential to cultivate over 4,000 hectares of sunflower grains. This would produce over 5 million metric tons of sunflower oil worth over $4 million annually.
The demand for sunflower oil has shot up. Ukraine and Russia used to produce more than 59% of the global sunflower oil and cake. And now the growth has come entirely low. It's also in response to climate change, to mitigate the climate change issue that we are facing now.
In addition to oil, sunflower cultivation could also create over 6,000 direct and indirect jobs. It would also produce honey for export, biodiesel for energy, and glycerol for cosmetic and pharmaceutical industries.
We are urging farmers to take it up seriously so that we will get a lot more of sunflower plantations in Ghana and in commercial quantities so that the consumers can also have good nutritional foods.
Sunflower is a golden opportunity for Ghana. It has the potential to boost the economy, create jobs, and reduce reliance on imported oil.
Sunflower is a grassland crop, which means that it grows in the savanna regions. And we have the coastal and then the Sahel savanna in the north. Now, we have large tracts of land in the north. So the land is not a problem. Looking at the agroclimatic condition of Ghana, it is suitable for the crop production. As you can see here, this is a living example. If it will not do well, we won't find this one here.
With government support, Ghana can become a major producer and exporter of sunflower oil.
I believe that if government can support the farmers in this area, I think the money will be in our nation, and then people will get their work to do. And I think it will help the nation too.
Shadrach Isifi, 3 Business, Accra.
And that's how we wrap up the business segments on Mayday Live. My name is Minuafo. Stay with us. We have more news coming up after the break.
The age-old rivalries that senior high schools had back then is still present in alumni.
Jolali, now or never. We are here to represent our school, St. Mary's Senior High School, Mary's for short.
Repping at Disador College, Santa Claus live in the house.
And we are representatives of Winneba Senior High School.
You are missing one contestant, your old student Shatawale.
The battle for bragging rights to a particular endeavor remains, of course, still after school. St. Mary's in the lead! Okay. St. Mary's in the lead! St. Mary's in the lead! St. Mary's in St. Mary's! The heat will be on in the kitchen right here on TV3 on Sunday, 5 p.m.
Kitchen Wars Season 2 shows Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
And Napa Foods. Say Napa. Enye ono soko.
PGL.
Good life! Good life! Forget the job. Just get the job and enjoy the #1 most exciting game show in Ghana. This is the Good Life Game Show. Name one symptom of malaria. Cold and shivering is correct. True, and that is wrong. With your hand. Hey! I call it Father Bena. Hey! Who will be the first to connect the phone? Hey! Congratulations.
Good Live game shows Fridays at 8 p.m. on TV3.
Are you a great FIFA player? Do you think you can beat anyone and be the very best in Ghana? The Warmer Plus Esports Festival is here to give you an experience. Join us at the forecourt of TV3. It will be a battle for supremacy in FIFA. Come around, let's smash it on the table tennis, football, and a snooker table. Kick about with family and friends. Music, food, and many more.
To run it through, Griezmann! Oh, it's there! And he has won FIFA World Cup.
So join us on this ride. It is the Warmer Plus Esports Festival, happening on 2nd September 2023. Powered by 3 Sports.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Grace. Catch me this Saturday with the ladies on the Ladies Circle.
I read a story online, and the young lady was like, she got the infection from her boyfriend. So later, when she found out, she also decided that I will spread it.
Wow. Over 100,000 living in Ghana may be infected with the HIV.
Because the stigma is still there, I think people are not having the conversation with their partners.
We as persons or as individuals shouldn't look down on another just because they have the virus.
Oh, and the power of Babylon.
Yes, great! Have you ever shot your shot at a reality TV star in the DM?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
No. Would you?
Yes.
The Ladies Circle shows this Saturday at 6 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by Yaz Sanitary Pad,
Onga,
Circle,
Vita,
MTN,
Woodin,
Nivea, for your shade of beautiful.
Well, from business to sport, Rio Kwampofo has the latest in sports. What's in the package?
Well, thank you very much. We're focusing on a special story that we went to do at 3 Sports. And so let's head right into it, where Gilbert Ampere, a teenager in the Central Region, is defying odds in high jump despite being physically challenged. Now, he aims at representing Ghana at the highest level in para-athletics. And my colleague Billy Sean tells his story.
The road to success for young athletes is a long and arduous one, but for physically challenged athletes, it gets harder. Gilbert Ampere is defying the odds. The 15-year-old was born with a defect in his right leg in Ekumfiatra, a village in the Central Region, to a family of 9. Gilbert is the last of 7 children and the only child in the family with a disability. Like every Ghanaian child, football was his first love. He watched and supported the Black Stars wholeheartedly. However, his fascination for high jump grew after he watched the high jump battle at the Olympic Games in Tokyo. He left his parents surprised when he picked up the sport. They wanted to protect him from the perceived dangers that come with it. However, series of events this year changed their perception.
I was told earlier this year that Gilbert was competing in high jump, which surprised me. A number of people in the village gathered to watch Gilbert compete, which he won. It was an exciting moment for everyone. I was very happy.
Ampere represented the Ekumfiatra DA Basic School in the inter-school athletics competition, where he beat his able-bodied peers in high jump and went on to topple tougher opponents at the Ekufi District Athletics competition after clearing the 1.60 meter mark in May this year. The young athlete is now seen as an inspirational figure in his school, a true marvel despite his physical disability. But he remains humble, attentive to teachings, and always eager to learn. Away from the school grounds, he strives to improve his jump. Gilbert Ampere comes here occasionally to train. He comes here to hone his skills away from the prying eyes of the public. And he's under the watchful eye of Coach Richardson, who has been in awe of his talent for quite a long time. Richardson Yao Asan has been in Ampere's corner for over a year, giving the youngster instructions in training. With a steady hand, Asan helps his athletes improve every day.
Actually, I met him when he came to Form 1. I had joined volleyball. Yeah, so I saw the way he jumped, and then I ascertained that this guy had something. So I had to take him and then train him for high jumping aside volleyball.
Each bar Ampia attempts to clear, each time he lands on a crash mat, is a step towards the ultimate goal, competing at the highest level for physically challenged athletes.
I want my parents to be happy to see me in jumping because when they born me, they say they were no mufal because of menanity. So I want to make them happy that I can do something.
No Ghanaian athlete has won a medal at the World Para-Athletics Championships since its inception in Berlin about 3 decades ago.
I want to participate in the Paralympics World Championship.
He may not have his turn this year, but Gilbert has set his sights on the Paralympics next year. It is a dream that he hopes become a reality soon.
Well, we keep on wishing Gilbert all the best. But before we go, just an update from Europe as Mohamed Kudus scored his first hat-trick for Ajax as they beat Bulgarian side Ludogorets 4-1 the first leg of the final round of qualifiers for the Europa League. Kudus has been linked to West Ham in the last few days and opened up about the team for the first time.
Was this your last match for Ajax?
See what happens in the next days, because I don't have control over everything, but we see in the next days what happens.
What has to happen?
The talks is going on, so we see if there's an agreement in the next days, and then we take it from there. That's not my core, my job. I just have to do my work on the pitch, and then my team and my people will take care of the rest.
Is it difficult to play a match like this when you're so close to another club?
And for me, like I said, it's one day at a time. So I live in the present moment, and I'm here now, and that is my focus, training and doing my work on the pitch. Like I said, everything after off the pitch will take care of itself. So I'm just doing my job on the pitch until there's something on the table and I have to leave or stay, then we see.
What can you tell us about West Ham?
Good club. Yeah.
That's it. And how much will you miss Ajax?
I'll answer that when everything is official. Yeah.
Well, with just 1 week to go till the summer transfer window closes, it looks ever likely that Mohamed Kudus would be leaving Ajax, and West Ham are reported to be very close to agreeing a deal with the 23-year-old. We'll continue bringing you updates as well as other news on our social media handles at 3SportsGH. My name is Uri Kwampafo, and that's how we wrap up the sports segment here on Midday Live. Up next on the bulletin is Entertainment with Anita.
Well, the weekend is here with us already, and a lot to be happening in the world of entertainment. Let's get to Anita Khufu for some updates. Over to you, Anita.
All right, thank you so much, Crosby. My name is Anita Khufu, an award-winning reggae dancer star Stonebwoy, while speaking on 3 Entertainment's Twitter Spaces last night, mentioned that Ghanaian bankrollers do not understand the music business to invest in it. He also noted that the big men we see around most musicians are there for the fun of it.
The highest levels there be, we are willing and are continuing to be able to hire and employ as and when we can. Because guess what? This is also business. Even government have to go and take loans. Government need financiers. And I tell you that this is that part of the situation where we don't have. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ghanaians don't really have support financially, because I believe that the understanding is not convincing enough for bankrollers be able to hire all these arms and all these people that make things work at the biggest level. These are our senior men that have money that you guys see around us. I can tell you it's mostly for the fun of it. What business do they have to do with us? They are businessmen in their regards. Real estate gurus, oil gurus, It's just nice to have an artist around us, and when they even qualify to be around once and once, you know, they may do you a good here and there. But what I'm telling you vividly and point blank is that it is not convincing enough to them to be able to put their monies behind the business. So we need some of them to tell us, look, I have one of them tell me some of the things that I'm surprised to even hear. Some of them don't really have an idea about how, some of them don't even have the passion. They only see the, you know, the fun part of it, and hey, come, I'm telling you point blank.
And still on the music industry, music producer and executive Jam Master J believes the creative space needs a concerted plan and heavy investment to keep the industry running. And speaking on TV3 New Day, he added that there's no intentionality to push the Ghanaian identity.
Worry is we want more or we want equal share. You don't have an equal share when you don't even know what is behind the wheel that's keeping the whole thing spinning.
What is it?
It's money.
It's money.
It's money. That thing you are seeing there that is happening in the world, it's not by chance. It's only we as Ghanaians who wait for things to happen to us. Nothing happens by chance. Everything is orchestrated. Everything is intentionally planned. It's an agenda.
Yeah.
But we, the usual side of we, everything should just come by gift. Oh, we deserve it. It's ours. It's ours. And we always just put certain kinds of narratives out there. Bella, there has to be a conscious plan that, listen, we want to push the Ghanaian identity, which is from looks, food, dressing, culture, all of that. How do we intend doing this? We've never gotten it right. Anytime you see us doing anything right, it's by luck. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't planned. So we can't even share the blueprint. See, 10, 15 years ago, when the Foris were ruling, if we knew what they were doing right, we should be able to replicate that blueprint as of now. But back again, because it was luck, we can't hold it.
There's more on this particular conversation in a subsequent broadcast. My name is Anita Khufu. That'll be all for the Entertainment News segment. Have a good afternoon.
In international news this afternoon, the coup leader in Niger, General Abdurrahman Chiani, has signed an order allowing fellow military governments of Mali and Burkina Faso to send their troops into his country to help defend against an attack. The announcement was made after the foreign ministers of Burkina Faso, Olivia, Rwanda and Mali, Abdoulaye Diop, visited General Chiani in Niamey. ECOWAS has threatened to use force to reinstate democratically elected president of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum, who was deposed by a coup of army officials last month. Now, ECOWAS has been trying to negotiate with the coup leaders, but has warned it is ready to send troops if diplomacy fails. That's how we wrap up on the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Noble Crosby-Anna, but there's always more news on our website, 3news.com. Please log on for more. It's the weekend. Enjoy it and stay with us here at TV3 and all the Media General platforms for extensive coverage of the MPP's Super Delegates Congress. Good afternoon. Bye-bye.